see the dying and shameless, I see the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.
This video is sponsored by me. If you put in the promo code I hate my face, you will have a lifetime supply of disappointment and disgust as being a Lions fan. Also, make sure you go ahead and hit that like button for me. Let's get to, 50 likes to start this bad boy off. We got my guy, Mark Orr from Orr's Forum in the building. What is going on, Mark?
Hey, Mikey, what's going on, brother? Man, that's a great intro. A lifetime of disgust. Let's go.
Hey, and that's hashtag facts, man. And we got a good one for you today. We're definitely going to be talking about the draft. We're going to be talking about what Brad Holmes said. We're going to get all into that. That's what this show is about, folks. 4 weeks away from the NFL draft. It is getting close. Very close. Frank, welcome to I Hate My Face. You got a lifetime of disappointment. I appreciate you. We got Tony in the building. We got Adam Patriot. That is definitely for you. You know it. Stephen Likings, Samthian, Al Torrey, NFL Junkie, Detroit Lions Syndicate. Make sure you go ahead and subscribe to this channel. Great channel, Detroit Lions news and rumors over there as well by Greg Chrome, Matthew Huntley, Stephen Likens, Bob O'Lane, Raw Detroit. Make sure you subscribe to his channel. One of the best regarding prospects. Everybody, Matthew Huntley, if I did not shout you out, it's okay, Breeze. I see you all in the building. Shout you out for sure. Letting you a little update. A month from now, I will be at Studio 84 with Herman Moore for the NFL draft. It's going to be Herman Moore, everything, King Dosa Dion. I think Lomas is going to be in there. We're going to be doing live at the studio in 1 month. I'm also going to be on the Grids channel at the same time, at the same place, breaking the NFL draft down. So it's about to get hype and psych. So make sure you go ahead and subscribe to Lions Nation Unite because I'll be on there as well as the Gridiron Blitz. I'll be on there as well. Mark Orem, what's going on, man? How you doing?
What's going on? I'm doing good, man. I'm doing good on a Thursday. I'm ready to talk some Lions football. What's on the agenda?
Man, you know what's on the agenda right now. We got to talk about this second pick in the draft. Brad Holmes, folks, if you don't know, Brad Holmes was talking, and to me, he was talking about how Jared Goff is the quarterback. We have our quarterback. We're going to surround Jared Goff with talent, Mark. We're going to make sure that this guy has all the chances to be successful in 2022. To me, is indication that I don't think we're going quarterback. What do you think about that and what he was stating, Mark?
Yeah, man, Brad Holmes is just doing his due diligence. He's saying what needs to be said. It's kind of refreshing. We didn't get that from the last regime. Bob Quinn would just come out straight out and tell us that we don't need a quarterback, and this is what we're doing right here. But with Brad Holmes, he gave a lot of props to Jared Goff, saying we're going to build around him, and this is what we're going to do. This is what we want to do. And he also said, a couple of questions later, he also said that they won't be surprised don't be surprised with his organization if they do grab a quarterback, in this draft to learn behind Jared Goff. I don't think they're going to go one early. I think you're right there. I could see one possibly maybe late first, maybe second, third round, possibly. But as of right now, it's Jared Goff all the way.
Let me know in the comment section right now. Why for yes and for no? Would you draft Malik Willis at 2? That would be the quarterback if they decide to go quarterback. Why for yes and for no? Do you want them to draft? I'm going to tell you, I don't believe they're drafting a quarterback. Yes, it's smoke. It's all smoke, folks. All the smoke is out there. People are going to lie. They're going to deceive. But at the same time, I have that feeling that they're not going to go quarterback. But what do you guys think? I know a lot of people say get the quarterback. A lot of people say no. We're going to do an informal poll right now. Chrome says no. Bobo says no. Adam says no. No. No Malik Sam, no. Matthew Huntley says edge. Dan, no. Patchy Cole, no. Flight, oh, no. Ernest, no. Frank, no. Why? Poohman, he's the first one to say why. Chance they're drafting a quarterback, 60 to 70, NFL draft. Sam, no. Y&N, Harold, he don't care. Heck, no. 9 Drinks, what's up, buddy? He says why. Tom, no. Lisa, no. A lot of no's here, Mark. What do you dissect by seeing the fan base say no, no, no? What does that mean to you?
Well, it kind of sounds like the fan base doesn't even want a quarterback at 2. That's what I'm kind of hearing right there, and I kind of feel it the same way. I don't think there's a quarterback really worthy to grab at 2 right now. I think rolling with Jared Goff, man, I think is the way to go right now. Build around him. Is he the future though? That's to be seen maybe later on down the road. Don't really know just yet. We have a whole season to go on. But to me, it just sounds like this fan base doesn't want a quarterback at 2. And I kind of understand that. I think we have way more problems than an actual quarterback right now at 2. And we've been down this road before, man, with a former quarterback. And, it's a little bit different. But with this, it's not a necessary need right now. We got so many holes. I think we should be addressing those first.
So let's talk about more quarterbacks. If they decide not to go quarterback at 2, we're not going to get Malik Willis. It's not going to fall to 32, folks.
Right.
Just telling you. I know Bucky Brooks did a mock draft where he didn't have a single quarterback in the first round. That ain't happening. That is definitely just, it's not happening.
Yeah.
Lions are sitting at 32. Let me know in the comments section, would you guys take a quarterback at 32? Why for yes and for no? We're going to discuss that right now. At 32, you have a potential to get a Sam Howell, I think, a Desmond Ridder. Would you jump on the opportunity, Mark, while the subscribers let me know in the comment section, to potentially draft one of these quarterbacks at 32?
Yes, the guy in the picture right there, right in front of me, Sam Howell. I'm starting to actually like him more and more. Been watching a little bit more tape of him. I think if he's there at 32, I think he definitely should be considered. I'm not saying we need to grab him right away, but I like him, man. He's a guy that was supposed to be the consensus probably number 1 or number 2 pick a couple years ago, coming into this draft. He struggled a little bit. He lost a lot of weapons at North Carolina. A lot of his guys rolled to the NFL, and he struggled a bit, man. And then he turned on his running game. All of a sudden, this guy ran for 800 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. He's still throwing the ball around. He's a good sized kid. He's not the tallest. He's 6'1", about 220. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. He seems like that anyways. He kind of reminds me a little bit of a Baker Mayfield type, but I think he's more talented. I think he has a better upside than Baker Mayfield. And if he's there at 32, I think he's definitely could be an option. I'm not saying grab him, but definitely an option.
We got 120 people in the building. Make sure you smash that like button. Let's get to at least 50 likes. That's 6 away. I think you can do it. To compare him to Baker Mayfield, I understand it because he looks like him. He honestly does, and he's the same size and built, but he's not as douchey as Baker Mayfield is over there. I think he's definitely much better. I still don't think the Detroit Lions take a quarterback at 32. I don't believe it personally. I think when you're sitting at the 32nd pick at this point, you're going to be looking at linebacker or safety. I think that is definitely something that they will look at. You're going to have options of a Jakeem Brisker sitting there, possibly. Maybe I see Nakobe Dean falling in latest mock drafts, falling to 32. I think that would be a slam dunk if he was there. I love Devin Lloyd. He's my favorite linebacker in this year's draft. I would love to get him. I just think there's no way in hell he's sitting there at 32. But I think that's the route that the Lions look at for the second first-round pick. Now we go to the second round, Mark. We're sitting there at 34, basically almost back-to-back nearly, just one pick away. What do you think they go there? Do you think they go quarterback? Do you think they continue to build this defense, or maybe jump on a wide receiver if one falls there?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a couple options here. I really like linebacker still. I'm kind of in love with Christian Harris. If he slips somehow, the Alabama linebacker, I think he's a 3-down linebacker. He needs to develop a little bit more in his pass coverage, but I really like him as a 3-down guy. Wide receiver, I'm not as high on Christian Watson like everybody is. I know he's kind of a physical freak, but there could be some wide receivers there in the second round that they could definitely look at, like a Jalen Tolbert. That might be a little bit too early, but there's a couple of wide receivers that are kind of slipping that I've noticed lately in these mock drafts. It's going to changes like every day, it almost feels like. But we don't really have, I think, a luxury of just not looking at every position. We need to go as a cohesive unit, and they need to really look at every single position. And but defense has to be a priority too.
Yep.
But wide receiver, it's not as big. But I'd rather they go after defense the first couple rounds, anyways.
With getting DJ Chark, the wide receiver formerly of the Jacksonville Jaguars, it really helped the Lions. Yeah. They don't have to immediately get a wide receiver at 32 or even at 34. Yeah. They can address other positions because this draft is has a lot of good wide receivers. The depth is high, very high. Talented, you get a good wide receiver in the third round, even in the late third round picks. We got 2 of those picks. So I think they do the best available approach, but I really suspect they're going to go edge, linebacker, and safety. Now let's jump back to the second pick and why I think the Detroit Lions are going to go edge. It's really important to understand that I think the Lions are going to go edge here. If you look at their roster from last year in comparisons to this year, right now they are down 2 edge rushers. They had 2 more last year at this time, and they were paying about $20.5 million to edge rushers. Right now they're at $15.5, so they're approximately $5 million less than they were last year. When you're sitting at 2, you're going to pay more of a salary to the higher salary to that specific position of need. I went through all the positions. Everything's a little bit higher except for edge. And when you're sitting there, you're going to have an option between probably Kayvon Thibodeau, Trayvon Walker with the edge position to help that out. Let's go ahead and jump into these specific individuals. I know you looked at Trayvon Walker's film because I watched your video. After I seen your video, I watched the film as well. I'm going to tell the people kind of what I saw from Trayvon Walker and why this guy has been ascending so high. So if you don't know, he is the edge rusher. He was initially, I'd say, the 20s in the first round, and now he's jumped all the way into consideration with the first pick. He's a big-bodied edge, very big. He's very good at stopping the run, but he is not that fast in the get-off, but his motor doesn't end like an Aiden Hutchinson. This guy ran, I'd say, about 40 yards after a running back and took him down after the running back got open. While other people slowed down, he didn't. But he's slow off the get-off. That is one thing that I've seen, and I'm not sure if you're Brad Holmes, you want to take a edge who's a little bit slow off the get-off. What did you see from Trayvon Walker, and let the people know who and what you think he could possibly be?
Yeah, the thing with Trayvon Walker is don't get me wrong, he's a really good football player. I think a lot of people might not know this, but he came into Georgia as a defensive tackle as a freshman. So he was over 290 pounds when he first came into that Georgia team. And the last couple of years, he's obviously been losing a few pounds here and there, all the way down to 275. He's what you said he is, Mike. He's a run stuffer. He sets the edge really well. He doesn't have the greatest get off, man, but he has a couple pass rush moves. I think he has a really nice spin move, but right now, I see him, if he was to be taken, it would be more of kind of like the smack in the room kind of draft pick. It'd be like he's a little bit more of a project at 2, and I don't really want a project. I want a guy that's going to constantly get into the backfield. I want a guy that's going to cause a lot of problems. He just seems like more of a project at 2. You know, he reminds me a lot of Trey Flowers. Like to be honest with you, I think he's almost not a carbon copy of him, but he's just it's a lot of Trey Flowers in him. A guy that can set the edge. Is he going to get you? Is he going to get you 10 sacks a year? I don't know. He might get you 5 to 6. I think we need more than that from a number 2 pick.
And that's difficult too. If you're sitting there, Brad Holmes, you got Kayvon Thibodeau, who does have issues. Do you think that his mind is fully invested in football? He's got investments. He's wanting to make some money, which that's perfectly fine. But you do wonder, is this guy fully invested in football? And you look at Walker, you know this guy's invested. I watched him. This dude pursues, but it is a little bit of a project. So you're taking a risk on both spots. Let me know in the comment section right now. Kayvon Thibodeau or Walker. KT for Kayvon Thibodeau, T-Dub for Walker. Let me know if that is the route you want to go with the number 2 pick in the draft. We're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a poll here. Then I'm going to jump into a scenario. I was talking with the guys behind the scenes. What I think is potentially possible of a trade option for the Detroit Lions to trade out of 2 makes a lot of sense. Right now we got Kayvon Thibodeau, seems like Sue, Trayvon Walker for sure by Likens. We got Willis. Mark, he wants that Willis. It's going to be Willis. Mark wants Willis. But Alien Source says KT, Bobo KT, Steven T-Dub. We got Willis. I love Mike Video. You're watching for a little bit. Hey, no problem. Tell your little boy a happy birthday, Hamilton, or I kill myself.
Happy birthday.
Walker is overrated. Trayvon Walker, KT, or Kyle Hamilton. Hey, Kyle Hamilton for sure. I love Kyle Hamilton. He is my number 1 rated player overall, a pound for pound in this year's draft. Kayvon Thibodeau Walker. So it's pretty mixed here, in all honesty. Yeah. It's pretty mixed when you're looking at these 2 prospects. Let's get to 100 likes. We've got 165 in the building. Let's get to 100 likes. Now, I read an article from the general manager of the Carolina Panthers. This guy must get a quarterback. He's shown it. He talked about it, how we have to get a quarterback. We have to make a move. They need to get one because of Matt Rule. They need to get one because their franchise needs a quarterback, and their general manager is hungry to get one. What is the best thing for them to do to secure a quarterback? To jump up to the number 2 pick in the draft. To trade with the Detroit Lions. We have fielded trade calls, and I do believe Carolina Panthers would be one of those teams, Mark. Now, I want to know in the comment section if this is a trade you would take, because I think it's important to get draft picks. They don't have a lot this year. However, what if the Detroit Lions were to trade with the Carolina Panthers? We give them the 2nd pick. We get the 6th pick. But then we get next year's first-round pick from Carolina. In my opinion, I think Carolina's going to suck this year. So it could be a top 10 draft pick. You have the Detroit Lions would have 3 first-round picks next year, potentially 1 in the top 10 with Carolina, probably 2 if the Lions don't do that great. Then you'd have the Rams pick. They also could be wanting to get rid of a potential running back over there. Potentially Christian McCaffrey. Still on that rookie deal. Even though he's injured, you can bring him to Detroit, and they get a 4th-round pick. Would you do a deal like that, Mark? Even though he is injury-riddled a little bit, but 4th-round pick, next year's first, a 6, and McCaffrey. Or not McCaffrey, Darnold for a backup quarterback. What do you think about a trade like that?
Oh, man, that's very enticing. I'm not really feeling the Sam Darnold to Detroit, though. McCaffrey to Detroit. Oof, it sounds nice, man, but like you said, he's got some injury-prone issues. He gets hurt a lot. We could think about. I definitely do like the 1st-round pick, though. I like the swap, and then next year, and then next year's first, because I think they're going to be a bad team too, like you said, possibly a top 10, top 5 team again. So I would definitely think about it. I don't know if I could give an answer right away, but it's definitely something that the Detroit Lions should think about. I just don't like the Sam Darnold issue, though. I don't want nothing to do with Sam Darnold, to be honest with you.
The thing is it's all about getting draft picks for 2023. Yeah. If you would have 3 first-round picks, if they decide we're not getting a quarterback this year, you'd have 3 first-round pick, potentially, like the Giants, where they got 2 in the top 10, and the Jets, to where, you know what, if you want to get that quarterback next year, you could jump up to the first pick in the draft if you wanted to with 3 first-round picks. You could. You could
Yeah,
definitely
I'd probably
do
do
that.
it then. I'd probably do it because of the 3 first-round picks. That's very enticing, and that's a pretty good dream scenario right there, man. Getting those 3, especially having all those picks right there, man. That's nice. And then even if you don't jump up and get your quarterback, you're getting 3 guys in the first round. That's, you know what I mean. That's fantastic. So I probably would do that deal. I probably would.
And you'd still get a value player at 6. It's
Yeah.
not like
Oh, yeah.
you're losing out on talent. Kyle Hamilton, good chance he could be there sitting at 6. Most definitely. Maybe even a Kayvon Thibodeau or Walker.
Thibodeau might drop,
So you
yeah.
potentially could get the same player at 2 at 6. That is what I think is enticing to me, and a little
That's
bit
enticing.
less, too, because you're not paying as much going from 2 to 6. It's a little bit less, but it is less. Let me know in the comment section if you want to trade out of 2 and if Carolina would be a team. If not, what team would you trade with? How far would you go back? Would you go past the top 10? Would you go in the teens? I don't want to go past no teens. I want to stay, I'd say 8 would be the farthest I want to go. I still want to secure a really good player because even if you don't get a Kyle Hamilton or a Kayvon Thibodeau, I'm not going to lie, I'll take Devin Lloyd at 8. You know, if that's that, I love him
That'd
that
be
much.
amazing. That'd be amazing getting a Devin Lloyd at 8. He's one of my favorite linebackers in this draft as well. For me, I probably wouldn't want to fall back 9. I wouldn't want to go past 9. The Seattle Seahawks. They got that Denver pick. In Seattle, they could be looking for a quarterback too. I don't think there's any way, unless they're tanking or unless they're a form of tanking, that they're going to go into the season with Drew Lock. I'd be shocked if they do. So, but I wouldn't want to go past 9. That's as far as I would go.
As far as I would go with you, and I think a lot of people in there
Yeah.
are kind of agreeing. They want to still get premium talent. And I think that's Brad Holmes. They want to get a good talent. I don't think they're wanting to do a massive trade back. You know, when you're sitting, you have an opportunity to get a game changer. We really don't have a face on this team, in all honesty. So I think you can still get a good face at that value because there's teams like the Giants and the Jets. They're going to take offensive linemen. So that's going to push more talent back. And then if Carolina or whoever you trade up with, they're probably going to take a quarterback. So I think that would be a smart move for the Detroit Lions. Also, news was taking place, Mark. Jared Goff was doing some practice, getting some of his wide receivers together. We got Reynolds. We got DJ Chark in California. I think that's awesome. It's a sign of leadership. I like the concept of him getting these players to get acclimated to his style, get on the same page. When Reynolds came to the Detroit Lions last year, it took about a week, but you can see the chemistry that they already had from the Rams. So I'd love to see DJ Chark and these guys get together and get that chemistry. I love it. What do you think about what was taking place with Jared Goff and those receivers?
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to see. As a fan of a team, especially with the DJ Chark sighting, it's good to see him out there. You know, we just brought him in. He's already out there working with Goff in California. That's exactly what you want to see and hear. I know DJ Chark came in here. I saw that he did an interview with, I believe it was Danny Rogers that works for the Lions. And he was saying nothing but praises about Jared Goff. You know, he's trying to get in. He's trying to butter up his QB1, which is a smart thing to do. And then he goes out there and he goes to California and does some work with him, man. Him, Reynolds, Amon-Ra. And Amon-Ra is just, man, he's just a young guy, and he's out there already setting an example. That's very impressive for a kid like that. Amon-Ra, you know, he's probably got a lot of things going on since he was like a 4th-round pick, but he decided, hey, it's time to go work out with my quarterback and my boys and go gain some chemistry, man. I love seeing that. So wondering where Cephas was, but he probably had something to do, and Hawk probably had tight end U. So with Kittle. So, but it's good to see the 3 guys out there. That's what you want to see in here.
The mailbag segment is coming up shortly, and I can't wait to get into it. This is my favorite time of the day where you guys run the show. Folks, I've been working on the NFL draft layout for you guys. I'm going to be hosting day 2 on my channel. I got a pretty good layout for you. I want to show it to you right now. Get ready for a layout. You're going to get all your information. Here we go, folks. Brah! Here is the layout for this. Let me go ahead and remove this. So you're going to be able to see what the selection is. This is from last year, but you're going to be able to see what the selection is. You're going to have an opportunity to know who's the best available and the Lions pick at time. We're going to have the clock going. Let me get this thing for you right now. As you can see, the clock and everything is moving. Now, this is, again, from last year, but you can tell it works. I'm going to have this up this year, and you'll see who's on the clock. You're going to see who the selections are. You're going to see best available. You'll have it all right here, and all the guys will be on here. This is just a shot of me. So you'll have all the fellas on here for the NFL draft. You'll hear the audio if you want to hear the audio of the NFL draft as well to get the obviously the great music. But I spent a long time working on this so you guys get the best view you possibly can get. This is exactly what I want you guys to have is this. So let me know what you think about this. You got you get the players on the board here. You got everything for Mel Kiper and Todd McShay stuff at the bottom. And you got the Lions picks taking place live at the exact moment. So I'm real happy to show this to you guys, and I'm real happy for this to be given. Man, Mark, what do you think about that, bro?
That was awesome, man. You can't ask for anything better than that, Mike. We got everything, man. We got the best available. We got we got the Lions picks up there. You got the clock. You got everything going on in the bottom. You can't ask for anything better, Mike. That's awesome, buddy.
Hey, man, that's what it's all about, and that's what I wanted to give, man. It's been a lot. Man, it's hard to work on this stuff, bro, so I've been working on it for you guys. Yeah. But this is my favorite time of the day, folks. You ready? It is the mailbag time. Questions, you hashtag Lions or hashtag. Go ahead, folks. Begin the questions. If I miss your question, don't hate on me. It's because I missed it. If you guys get the question answered, lucky. But again, just repost it, copy, paste. I will see it. If I miss it, again, there's 200-some people in the building. It is what it is. But you got to do a hashtag Lions, hashtag something. That's how I see it. We got our first question here from Breeze. Aiden Hutchinson, 2, 32, Nakobe Dean, 34, Daxton Hill, George Pickens, 97, Calvin Austin. Well, that's called the dream right there, Breeze. Oof, I do believe Aiden Hutchinson is going to be a Jacksonville Jaguar, but what do you think about this mock draft there, Mark?
Man, I like that. And Dean falling all the way to 32. I know he's been falling in mocks with the chest issue and stuff like that. And I think some of his size is kind of scaring some teams off. But I actually love that draft. Daxton Hill, you got a really versatile safety right there out of Michigan. You got George Pickens at 66, a guy that was probably a mid to maybe a little later first round pick. You get him at 66. That's nice, man. And then you ended off with, who was the last guy, Mike? Who was the last guy there?
The last guy was Calvin Austin the third.
Oh, Calvin Austin, you get a little bit of a gadget player at wide receiver there, and Calvin Austin, a speedster. Yeah, man, that's pretty much a dream scenario. I like it, man. If that happens, sign me up.
Draft a quarterback at 32. It depends who's there, who would be available. Sam Howell, probably would be available at that point. Desmond Ridder as well. It'd be kind of a coin flip between the two, depending on what you want. Would you draft a quarterback at 32, Mark?
Like I talked about earlier, I would definitely consider a quarterback at 32. I do like Sam Howell. After that, my quarterback's kind of like, I'm not really too fond of a lot of them. But if Sam Howell was there, I would definitely think about drafting him, the kid out of North Carolina, for sure.
Lions about safety, Kirby Joseph. He's the 6'1" guy, right? He's a 6'1" safety,
he's the big kid.
Body, 5 interceptions. Oh, man, I need to get safety, and I wouldn't mind it. What about you?
Yeah, he's a good safety. He's a bigger kid. He can make some plays in the backfield for you. He can be that center fielder guy for you. He made a lot of plays in college, so he's going to be a guy that's going to lay you out, and then he'll be a guy that can get a pick too as well. So I do like Kirby Joseph.
Thoughts on Desmond Ridder? I like Desmond Ridder. He's very smooth, tall. He's got a big arm quarterback. It does remind me of Trey Lance last year. He's definitely got the mental capacity to be a long-term quarterback. Very strong-minded young man. I like him quite a bit. What is your thoughts on Ridder?
I think Ritter's definitely an option too as well. I like him. He's got a big arm, probably one of the strongest arms in this class. Actually, to tell you the truth, him and Carson Strong will probably have a good go right there with the strongest arm. Him and Willis too as well. Smart kid, good kid. Seems like and he really raised up that program too in Cincinnati, and that's what you really like about him, man. He's a good quarterback. I like him.
What percentage of Lion fans going to cry if they draft Malik Willis? I'd say 90% are going to be upset about it. Not me. I want to be upset. I know a lot of people be mad, but if they feel he's a franchise quarterback, you take him. That they know more about him.
People are going to cry, Mike.
A lot of
people are going to cry. Lots.
Do you like Jared Davis' contract? Yes. I see in the contract, it is a contract of a player who's not guaranteed to make the 53-man roster. And I like that because I want us to draft our linebackers. I'm not sold on this guy being a franchise elite linebacker. It's just not the case. I don't see it.
He's just not going to be, I don't think.
Why is Leo Chenal not on the top of your linebacker board? The dude is a beast. I love Leo Chenal. I think I'm a last mock draft. I had Lions drafting him. I had the Detroit Lions drafting him. So
Leo Chenal's a really good quarterback.
Yeah, very good.
A really good linebacker for sure coming out, man. He should definitely be up there for sure, at least maybe in the top 5.
Yeah, I had the Lions drafting him, so I think he would be a great addition to the Lions. Let's see. Do the Lions love being less than mediocre quarterbacks? Turn around a franchise. Malik Willis' hate is similar to Deshaun Watson and Patty Mahomes' draft. I think fans are
huge praise.
I think they're nervous. I think they're nervous to take a quarterback. I think that's what it is. A lot of people want to build a team first and then draft the quarterback. You have your quarterback then on a rookie deal for the 4 years until he demands it for his 5th year, kind of like we're seeing right now out of the Arizona quarterback there. But I think that's some people's philosophy. My philosophy is just draft the best player available, and if you think a quarterback is a franchise guy, you take him. So it just depends your thought and how you build you build a roster. Burks and Dean are falling. What chance is there that one of them is on the board at 32? I think that the chance is 50-50 at this point because I keep seeing them falling in certain mock drafts. If that happens, that's called a win-win right there. That is a win scenario. Now, I think it's less for Burks. Kansas City Chiefs and the Green Bay Packers got 2 first-round picks. They need to get a wide receiver. Nakobe Dean potentially being there is possible. Yeah. But that's a win-win scenario. What about you, Mark? What is the odds of them having, say, 50-50?
For sure. I keep hearing it too. Burks and Dean falling. It could be a 50-50 chance. A lot of people are saying Burks isn't that athletic, but if you put his game film on, you watch him, man, he dominates. He's 6'3", 230 pounds, and he runs pretty fast. He's not a burner by any stretch, but he's going to run right by you, and he's just going to out-physical you. And with Dean too, I think a lot of people are getting a little bit nervous about his size, and he's got some type of pec injury going on right now, I heard. So maybe he slips to 32. If he's there, man, he better be at least talking about it because he's a stud.
219 in the building. Let's get to 100 likes. We're at 94. 6 away. And if you have not subscribed, you're crazy. Smash that subscribe button. I'm trying to climb the ladder, Chat Sports. I'm trying to get above the Miami Dolphins channel. They're about 1,000 away, and I'm trying to claw my way up there. I'm right now ranked 7. I'm trying to get ranked 6. Hashtag Lions. If Aiden's is not there too, who would you take? There's a difference between who would I take and what the franchise. I always got to do that distinction right there. First off, I like Kyle Hamilton the most out of all the prospects. I'd do it. But I think the franchise, I think the Brad Holmes will take an edge rusher, whether it be Kayvon Thibodeau or Trayvon Walker. What would you do at 2? I know you like KT.
Yeah, my guy is Kayvon Thibodeau from Oregon, the edge. I'm not going to waver from it either. I think he's special. I think he's a blue chip guy. His ceiling is through the roof. I think his first step is so explosive. We lack such a pass rush. We don't even know what our pass rush is going to be this year. The guys with Romeo, he's going to be guys coming back hurt. So it's going to be interesting.
Double feed there, Mark.
Is that me?
That's Durham.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's not me, bro.
That was crazy. Dern just came in and double feeded.
I was like, that wasn't my daughter. I was like, that wasn't. Yeah, so.
I did not.
Yeah, for sure.
Hold on one second. He double feeded me, and I was not expecting that for sure.
That was funny.
I'm going to send a question to you while I fix him up there. What's up, Utility Sports? Make sure you subscribe to Utility Sports. Let's see. This one's going to go to Mark. Hashtag lines with signing of Arden Key to the Jacksonville for 1-year contract. Do you think the Jaguars will draft Ike Ekwonu or Evan Neal now?
That's a great question, man. Yeah, they just signed Arden Key, the guy that was the defensive end from played for San Francisco 49ers last year, had like 6 sacks, and there was rumors that he was going to come here, but paid a visit. Jacksonville got him. I think the Jaguars. I've said this from the beginning. I still don't think that Aiden Hutchinson is a lock to go to Jacksonville. I think definitely in play Evan Neal is. Their tackles over there in Jacksonville are not very good, even though they franchised Cam Robinson. They got like Walker Little, Jawan Taylor. Jawan Taylor is probably going to be a camp cut. So I definitely think one of those offensive tackles, Neal or Ekwonu, will be on the radar for the Jaguars. Definitely Neal.
All right, we got Dern. He jumped in here real quick. I'm going to send you. What's up, Dern?
What's going on, guys? I got the birthday boy over here.
Happy birthday.
Thank you.
I just wanted to get on here and rant a little bit because people keep saying that don't take a QB at all. And I'm wondering if people say or think they know the ramifications if you don't get one this year. Like, I know you don't have to. You definitely don't have to, especially if a quarterback they don't like doesn't fall to us at 32 or 34. But the reason that they should at least consider it is Goff's dead cap next year is only $10 million. But his cap hit next year is $32 to $36 million. We know what Goff is. We know what he can do at his lowest. And we've seen him be a decent quarterback. He's never been elite. And so trying to tell people, or at least have them consider taking one like a Matt Corral, a Sam Howell. I know they're probably not going to be an elite quarterback, but you get that 5th-year option. And the worst case scenario, if you do draft a quarterback at 32, is Goff plays well, and then you trade him for more picks. I don't see what the big deal is. You get an insurance policy that you can get out of Goff's contract either way. And that's all I wanted to say to people is you should at least consider it. And people keep saying these quarterbacks are garbage. I disagree completely. There's plenty of talent there. They will sit for a year and learn the NFL. I don't think there's any reason not to if there's a quarterback that they like.
Now that Dern expresses his interest for the quarterback, let me know in the comment section. Draft a quarterback at 2. Why for yes and for no plan B says no. Let's see what you guys think on this concept. I always believe if you have a franchise quarterback, I have no problem drafting him. I think that's really important. But if you don't believe he's a franchise guy, you don't do it because you can end up like some teams. Correct? Right, Dern?
Oh, absolutely.
Goff's not a franchise guy. I'm just saying.
Well, I think we kind of all know that.
Yeah.
He's definitely not a franchise guy. Question here, though. Is there serious interest in Malik, and those teams are banking if he falls to them? Take them at 2 or open to trade him, Pittsburgh, Carolina, etc. If no, he sits behind Goff, forces other teams to go. I think there's interest for teams to get a quarterback. I'm not 100% sure how aggressive they're going to be. Carolina seems they're going to be aggressive. This is the biggest question mark, I feel, Mark.
Yeah, this is what we talked about too, Mike. Carolina's at 6. I wouldn't mind dealing with those guys. Pittsburgh, they're like what, 20th? So I think that's a little bit dangerous, man. If you're going if you're going to drop all the way back from 2 to 20 something, you better be jobbing a team. You better be getting a lot for that, you'd be getting multiple picks. Apparently there's some interest in Malik Willis. We've heard Pittsburgh since day one. Mike Tomlin apparently went to dinner with the kid, so who knows what's going on there. Carolina, they need a quarterback, so it's going to be interesting. But Brad Holmes needs to literally, keep saying that there's a possibility of us taking a quarterback in order for it to get a little bit more juicier. But,
yeah, absolutely.
Before the draft, make some noise, man. Lie. It's all about lying right now.
And you ain't lying, bro. You ain't lying.
No.
How in the world can the Rams afford these contracts after signing Wagner to $50 million? Is there really a salary cap? I'm going to let you go. We talked about this on the other side. Talk about the salary cap, Mark Orm.
The salary cap's a myth. The salary cap, you know what I mean? The salary cap is a myth. It's there. And but you can manipulate it in so many ways, with bonuses, extensions, restructures, do whatever you want with it. It's like it almost doesn't exist. Like it is there, but these teams find ways to get players under the cap. You can't be in the red going into March, and we're almost into April now. So, and they have these experts, these capologists that just manipulate these contracts, and they find a way to just squeeze in these guys, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. So,
can we draft and then trade down this year? They could definitely draft Malik Willis. I think the biggest trade down spot is at 32. Teams wanting to get a quarterback, you can get that. They get that 5th-year option. I think that's probably the best trade spot, in all honesty, for the Lions is sitting at 32. So they could do that route. I honestly, though, I don't believe they're drafting quarterback at 2. Just be 100% honest with you guys. That is my personal belief. That's my opinion. Yeah, I could definitely be wrong. I just don't believe they're taking a quarterback at 2. Let's see. What is if we traded back, get Hamilton, and then get Ritter at 32, have a quarterback with a 5th-year option? Mike or Mark? I'll let you take that one, Mark.
What if we trade back and get Hamilton and get Ritter at 32 to have a quarterback with 5th year? Yeah, you know what I mean? I think Ritter might be a little bit too early for me for Ritter at 32, but he's definitely could be in talks. It's not a bad option. You get that 5th-year option. You don't like it, you can obviously get rid of him or try to re-sign him back for even cheaper. And it's good to have a quarterback on a 5th-year option just because of that deal right there. But it's always an option. But I think Ritter at 32 is a little bit early, just for my taste. I do like him though.
First off, this needs to be the new Lions. This needs to be the new Lions logo right there. This guy's avatar right here.
That's
Lions
fantastic.
family, what do you guys think about wide receiver Christian Watson, linebacker Brandon Smith, and linebacker Troy Anderson, and where will be in the draft? First of all, I'll start with Watson. I love Christian Watson. Man, if this dude didn't get injured, he could have been the best wide receiver in the draft. I think this guy could be a stud. And if the Lions could pull him in, and I had him in my last mock draft, I think that would be ridiculous. And I think he's going to fall a little bit. I don't think he's going to be a first rounder. Could be a late 2nd rounder, but I would love this. What do you think about Brandon Smith and Troy Anderson?
Brandon Smith, that's the linebacker from Penn State. I'd say he's more of a coverage linebacker. He's a smaller dude. I don't mind him. I like him maybe a little bit later in the draft. And Troy Anderson's like that utility knife. The guy I think that's the kid that was a running back who's turned into a quarterback, then turned into a linebacker. The kid's done it all. So he's got a lot of versatility to him, a lot of speed. He was a very fast linebacker. Brandon Smith and Troy Anderson for sure.
Boye Mafe at 34. If the Lions don't go edge, I love Boye Mafe. This guy is a beast. Mm-hmm. He's an absolute stud. He can get after the quarterback. So if you're looking to get a pass rusher, that is my Boye. That is a guy you could look at for sure. What do you think about Mafe?
I do like Boye Mafe. I think he's one of the best pure pass rushers in this draft. Actually, he has a lot of pass rush moves. A little bit trouble playing the run, man. But if you're looking for a guy to get the quarterback, Boye is the guy for sure.
Bree says, if they trade back to 6, so 2 to 6, I'm willing to draft Howell or Ritter at 32 because you get an extra draft capital. Thoughts? Yeah, you'd be getting another. See, what happens right now is the Carolina Panthers, their next pick after 6 is 137. So we're talking about a 4th-round pick. So if you're going to get extra capital, it would be for 2023. I think if you were to get a first-round pick for 2023, I actually wouldn't draft a quarterback this year, and I would bank on having 3 first-round picks to go up to the first pick in the draft. That's what I would do. But you could do that. They definitely could take a Ritter, too. I do like Ritter, but you're not going to get a lot of draft capital this year. Maybe the 4th-round pick, but you'd be banking on next year's first. That's what it would be because they've already spent all this draft capital getting Darnold and making some dumb moves. 313, if the Commanders trade Young for 2nd pick, do we take it or at least consider it? Just the 2nd pick, you'd have to give me their first-round pick too.
Yeah.
You'd have to give me your first-round pick and Chase Young.
Yeah, we'd have to swap that. Yeah, that first-round pick end thing, and maybe we'll throw you like a 3rd-round pick or something or a 4th. Yeah. But we're not just going to do that just 1 for 1 there. I wouldn't do that. I do like Chase Young though. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I love Chase. How can you not love Chase? I love Chase Young. Absolutely. And if they're trying to get – but they say they traded for Wentz. I don't think they're going to go quarterback this year, whatever they believe in Wentz, unless one falls to them and they could take one to the future. But I don't think them trading up. Yeah. 255 in the building, 118 likes. It gets a 125. Smash that like button. It would be really appreciated, and that's how we really grow in this channel. And if you ain't subscribed, you're nuts. You're nuts. If we're able to trade out of 2, it needs and must be getting another first-round pick for next year's draft. Collateral moving up for a quarterback is not selected this year. Yeah, that or if the Giants or Jets, because they both have first-round picks this year in the top 10, so that could be other teams that you'd look for if you want to get 2 first-round picks. I know there's a rumor out that the Jets and the Giants are battling to get a elite player. I'm going to assume it's an offensive lineman, maybe Ike Ekwonu. So maybe they want to get the jump up to 2 to secure him. But I have my doubts on that because Evan Neal's pretty good too. You're not losing out on much, and you know it looks like they both probably could get one of those guys for sure. They're both really good offensive linemen. But, I think getting next year's, if we did it with Carolina, that would be the way to go, man. Next year's first, because you know they're going to suck. Or Atlanta Falcons, too. They could be a team that want to get a quarterback as well, and they're probably going to suck this year. So those would be – I just seen an NFL Junkie offer Atlanta the 2nd pick first this year and next year in the 2nd. Atlanta's probably top 5. Yeah, I just was talking about that. 100% agree with that. That would be for next year. You always got to look at who's going to be a bad team next year. And if we get a first-round pick next year from a bad team, Mark, that would be – we'd be doing a Giants and Jets thing, man.
Yeah, that's exactly what you want to get, man. You want to get multiple picks, especially from bad teams. You know, we know all about being bad. But if we can take that advantage of another bad team and get some more capital, high draft capital, it's a must for sure.
Hearn Mark says, am I too optimistic the Lions could get draft 5 starters with the first 5 picks? I think that's a little bit optimistic. I would drop it down to 3 starters and probably 2 mixtures, like something that they'll get playing time throughout games, but not bona fide starters. I think edge rusher, if you go at 2, that's going to be a bona fide starter. I think if they go safety or linebacker, that's probably going to be starter at 32. And same at 34, but when you're looking at 66, maybe they go wide receiver, and that guy wouldn't be on the field all the time because you got DJ Chark, Quintez Cephas, you got Amon-Ra St. Brown, and obviously we got Reynolds as well. And then the late 3rd round pick would probably be, you know, some backup role or utilized in that sense as well. So I think that's a little too optimistic, but I would expect to get 3. You should come out with 3 starters. That's for sure.
I feel the same.
Atlanta, Carolina, Seattle, New York Giants, and Jets. I agree, Steven Likens. Seattle, they would probably like to get one because Drew Lock is cheeks. What is your thoughts on defensive tackle Travis Jones? I think the Lions should take a look at him. He's really good. I have not looked at him. Mark, have you?
No, I have not looked at him. Is he? I don't even know if he's even a college guy or a professional or in the NFL already. I'm sorry, guys.
Sorry, I don't know. I'll have to get back with you on that one. I have
Yeah.
not invested a lot of time in the defensive tackle position. Why? Because we drafted 2 last year, and we may get a guy in the 6th, 7th round, but I want to expect defensive tackle fairly high. Leave a like on the stream. Appreciate Utility Sports again. Subscribe to his channel. He's a friend of the channel. Had him on here before. Got some good content over there. Aiden isn't the end all be all. Holmes said his pass yesterday. He's willing to trade number 2 before the Jags made their pick. Thoughts? Yeah, he's not the end all be all. I think they have many options that they would take. It's not Aiden Hutchinson or bust. I just think he's probably the safest pick in the draft. You know he's got a motor. You know he's going to get sacks. There's not much question mark for Aiden Hutchinson. There's question mark with Kayvon Thibodeau. There's questions mark with Trayvon Walker. Do you really want to go offensive line, make Kwanwu and make him a guard? Probably not. There's a question to taking a safety at 2. So there's a lot of question marks, but he's not. What do you think,
I don't
Mark?
think. Yeah, I don't think Hutchinson's too much of a question mark. He's a guy that plays for the Wolverines. Obviously, he's comes from a good pedigree with his dad playing there too. He seems like a Dan Campbell guy. He's got a high motor. So and there's other guys that are question marks. Thibodeau, the guy I love, there's some red flags on him. There's some red flags on Kyle Hamilton. There's some red flags on a Trayvon Walker. Having the number 2 pick right now is kind of, it's not. I'm not saying it's bad to have, but it's going to be real tough to trade out of that. So, but I think the best pick would probably be Hutchinson. But other than that, we'll see what happens. But there's some red flags with some players.
With adding of DJ Chark, are you changing your tune on wide receiver 1, taking 32, 34? Wide receivers will be like hotcakes in the first round. I'm not changing my tune. I just don't. With Kansas City and Green Bay, they're going to be aggressive. They're going to take some wide receivers there. And to me, that's going to push down other talent like linebacker and safety, where the Lions need. And having DJ Chark, he's just on a 1-year deal, so it's not changed my tune. We still need to get a good wide receiver. But you could get one in the 3rd round. No doubt about it. I mean, we got Amon-Ra St. Brown in the 4th round last year. And this year's group of wide receivers is just as deep as it was last year and fast. So I'm not changing my tune. If somehow a great wide receiver fell to the Lions at 32 like a Treylon Burks, I'll take Treylon Burks. I mean, I love Treylon Burks. It's just if Nakobe Dean's there, if some other players there, but I think that those guys are going to be gone, Mark.
Yeah, and I think the wide receiver is almost kind of it's another need too as well too, because if you look at a lot of these guys' contracts, like a DJ Chark, 1 year, Reynolds 2 years, Cephas is going to be coming up in the future shortly. So I think another young, fresh wide receiver is definitely could be taken in the possible 1 to 3 rounds. So it's not out of the question at all.
Spirit of Detroit podcast. Make sure you go and subscribe to his channel. He's a friend of the channel, service member. He's actually deploying here really soon. He says, hey, yo, what's up? Make sure you subscribe to his channel. Very good content over there. Detroit Lions, dropping prospects. That's what it's all about. He has a different opinion sometimes, doesn't agree with all of us, but that's okay because we are not sheep where we all must agree. It's not a hive mind over here. You can have your own brain. Are there red flags for Kyle Hamilton? I don't see a whole lot of red flags. I know he didn't run that fast at the combine, but I don't care. This guy is a stud, pound for pound. He's my favorite prospect. Yes, he's a safety, but this dude's a beast. He's a game changer. He's going to get turnovers. Yeah. I'm not too worried. If we're to draft him, he's starting day 1. That's really it. I mean, I don't know what else to say. There's not a lot of red flags.
He'd definitely be starting day 1, but you got to look at his medicals. You got to make sure that he's healthy. He's a very versatile safety, though. And I think I can even play a little bit of linebacker for you in some packages if you really need to. But he needs to work on some things in his game, but he is a ball hawking safety for sure.
Anthony 5, no problem. You ain't late, man. You can always rewind. Yeah, 9 drinks. Do you guys think the Lions really trade number 2 before draft day without knowing the Jacksonville's pick? I think it's possible. Look, I think everybody kind of knows what Jacksonville's going to do, folks. They know what's going to do. Come on, man. I don't buy they're going Walker at 1. I think Aiden Hutchinson's the pick. I really do. They could go offensive line, but say a team like Carolina, they have to get a quarterback. They may like Pickens and Willis. They trade up to do. They're going to get, no matter what, they're going to get one. So it's possible. I think it's unlikely before the draft, maybe 24 hours before the draft, where you kind of know what's going to happen with the first pick, by that time. But probably a draft day trade is more likely. This is not like last year where you can be a Trey Lance and there's going to be 3 quarterbacks going 1, 2, 3. Still, I think within 24 hours, very possible if they decide to go that route.
Right.
Student of options game. Hey, Mark. Hey, Mike, are there a couple of guys that are not offensive line or quarterback that you don't want the Detroit Lions to draft in the first round? Ooh, good question. A running back. I don't want the Detroit Lions to draft a running back. I think there's absolutely
definitely
no
a running
need for
back.
tight end. Absolutely no need to draft a tight end in this year's draft.
A guard in the first round? No.
Defensive tackle. I really don't want to take a defensive tackle in this year's draft. I think I'm okay with going edge, linebacker, safety. I don't want to take a cornerback. I'm going to make that right. I don't want to take a corner either, unless some crazy one fell. But I still want to say Okuda's rehabbing. Jerry Jacobs, I don't want to take a corner. But those are the 3 positions at wide receiver I'd look at for sure. And if a crazy quarterback fell at 32, which I don't think is going to happen. But I'm not really thinking they're going to go quarterback. But those are the positions I'd look at, and those would be the ones I don't take. I wish I had a crystal ball. I wish we all had a crystal ball. Wouldn't that be awesome, man? I'd be betting right now. And you want to know what, folks? You can bet.
Yeah, I wouldn't be here.
Yeah, you can bet by going to chatsports.com/LionsBet. That is BetUS, folks. Make a little bit of money. Chatsports.com/LionsBet. You can bet on the draft. Who's going to get those picks? Who's going to be taking 1, 2, and on? Put in the promo code LIONS125. You can make a little bit of money. Make a little bit of money, folks. We're ending the show here real soon. Mark, tell everybody about your channel, how they can find you, and why they should subscribe.
What's going on, guys? Thanks for having me, Mike. Man, it was awesome. Thanks to everybody in the chat. My show, Mark Orum's Forum on YouTube, obviously. I love to do a lot of Lions content. That's all I've been really focusing on, and I've been focusing on some draft prospects. Maybe when the baseball season starts, I'm going to get into some Tiger baseball. But I do a show every Tuesday called the Orum's Den, similar to Mike's. With chat participation, we just talk about the Detroit Lions and the NFL in general. And we have a lot of fun with it, man. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you.
Appreciate everybody getting on. 4 weeks from the NFL draft, where our team is going to change for the right. This is a massive draft to me. It's the biggest draft that I can remember for this football team. We have to build the foundation to get better. We got plenty of capital, 9 picks, end up having more if they do some trade downs. We have to get better. We have to make this team be competitive, somewhat making a better move than we did last year. And I think that's really, really important. Make sure you smash that like button, hit that notification bell if you haven't done so for breaking news. Stuff happens all the time. And subscribe to Mark Oram. With that said, folks, adios.
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. Just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great.